And what's cracking, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. How is everyone doing today? XRP looks fantastic. Now, I'm just setting up the spin the wheel because we are going to be having a giveaway today. Now, I know on the thumbnail it says $1,000 is going to be the giveaway. However, we're going to sweeten it a tad bit. We're going to give away, well, I'll just throw another 500 in there. How about that? How does that sound, guys? We're going to be doing a $1,500 giveaway today. Okay, there are going to be 3 lucky winners. I mean, let's face it, we're all already sort of winning just based on what XRP is doing right now. I mean, just look at that rip. Someone in the Discord chat, by the way, if you're not already in the Discord chat, come on in, join the Discord fam. What the hell are you doing? You know, sometimes you can find that you don't have time to follow the markets and stuff. So this is where you sort of, you know, think ahead. Check your ego at the door and figure out who is in the zone right now. You know, who's got a handle of what's going on in the market. Sometimes all you need to do is position yourself in front of a wave, you know, even in terms of a wave of knowledge. Because there are some people that are completely in tune right now with the markets, and you gotta be smart about it, right? Now, for instance, Sean is like in tune with Bitcoin right now. He's been nailing almost every single move so far, right? But like Sean, there are other people that are in tune with with other assets, right? So if you just position yourself around these people, you'll be surprised as to the amount of alpha you can get by just being in the right places. So join the Discord chat if you're not already in there, themangoway.com/Discord. So yeah, let me just go ahead, set everything up. This is like super impromptu. Okay, pop out chat. Okay, let me see. I gotta, figure out who is saying what. Okay, let's see who we got in here. Sean is in here. Hello, Sean. He's handling the Mango Research handle right now. Okay. Who else? Bird Person, Alvaro, Eurito, Etron, Michael, Rich, Meg. Okay. We got quite a few guys in here. So now let's go ahead and cue the intro. I'm super excited. I'm a little too excited, maybe. In 3, 2, 1. Christian, get your act together. And what's cracking, you guys? Welcome. I'm sorry, I'm a bit disheveled right here. I tried to, fix myself before I got onto the live stream, but I am very, very excited for what? Jeez, my spin the wheel is covering. Okay, there we go. XRP is the star of this stream. We're going to be focusing on XRP and Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the star right now. However, I want to really drive one thing in. You know, I published a video on XRP a couple of days ago saying that right now, at this very moment in the market, we're seeing altcoins across the board. Get into the dashboard if you're not already in there, okay? app.mangoresearch.co is where you're going to find this. Get into the dashboard, and you're going to find something here. Everything is green. I think we can all agree, right? Look at the returns column. Every single thing is green right now. Okay, you're up on many of your trades. If you caught it on the dashboard, then you're up significantly. 20%, you got 11%, 15%. Anyways, gains. However, and this is what I mentioned, there's a special basket of altcoins right now. Okay, a special basket of altcoins that are poised to outperform. I even did a dedicated video on this on the premium video section, highlighting how do you go about finding the altcoins that are outperforming right now. But I also did mention to you guys that XRP is on that list, it's in that basket that's sort of poised to outperform. All right, so start taking note of the opportunities, guys, because here's what happens. You're looking at XRP. You know, you think that you have time because what has happened, okay, over this entire consolidation right here, right? So let's face it. What did this do to all of us? It lulled us into complacency. All right, there's always like this bias that we have, a recency bias that we have. When you expect volatility to be this bloody boring, you know, you often look at the chart, you're like, nah, I got time. You know, you think, I should buy some more XRP. I'm like, no, I got time. I got time, I got time, you got time until you don't got time. Because when the markets start moving, the volatility just picks up. So here's what we're going to be going over today. Okay, first, I want to give you guys the free money, $1,500 on today's giveaway. The way I'm going to be doing this is that there's going to be 3 winners today. Okay, we're going to spin the wheel for 3 winners, and each of them, of course, $500 each. Okay, $500 each to our winners, after which we're going to be going over XRP, but not just, we're going to be looking at the beautiful pump. Okay, but in addition to this, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to give you guys the most immediate targets that I'm looking at. I know, it's all-time high. Krisha, how are you coming up with targets? I got a magic ball. What can I say? I'm just kidding. But no, there's a system that I have that's worked like a charm, not just on XRP, but on many other assets that I have been trading and I have been doing analysis for. Man, it's cold. I can't work in the cold. I have this great system that gives me amazing targets. I've been presenting these to you, so I did have time to go over my system and to give you guys to, generate targets for XRP based on what I'm seeing on this chart. So I will also be giving you guys the targets today, after which we'll be going on over to some other altcoins. But right now, the star of the show is XRP. This right here, make no mistake, is a breakout move. Not only are we seeing a breakout of a structure, we are seeing a volatility spike. Okay, volatility breaking into a brand new range. This is what you want to see if you are bullish on XRP, if you're looking for those higher targets. Alrighty, now I'm just going to go on to the chat very quickly. Bonjour, good morning everybody. First time getting to watch live. Okay, sweet, I can see there are a few newcomers in here. Okay, cool, let's go ahead and begin with the giveaway. Alright, I am feeling generous today, there we go. Where is the... Alright, every live stream, guys, we're going to be having a giveaway. Could be $1,000, could be $2,000. Today is $1,500. All right, every live stream there's going to be a giveaway. To qualify for the giveaway, you got to use the link in the description below to sign up for Bitunix, deposit 50, you qualify. All right, that's the only way I know that you have that's the only way I know that you are a user, okay? That helps me keep a record of who's signed up. All right, so every live stream there's going to be a giveaway. Now, 3 winners today, 500 each. Your winnings will drop into your account in 24 hours. Let's go. Drum roll for spin number 1. Boo-hoo, Krisha. Boo-hoo. There we go. Okay, that's the winner. My bad, guys. That's the winner. Today's winner for the first $500 goes to this user. This is based on your UIDs, so take note of it. That's a sick number at the end there. You cannot go wrong with that. Okay, so this is today's winner, ending with, 5 ones. 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, now this, it's rigged. 3 times rigged. Okay, this is winner number 1. Now, of course, I'll be posting the winners in the description as well as in the Discord chat, as well as we'll be sending an email out to you guys with the winners list. So this lucky winner walked away with 500. Are we ready for the next winner? The next winner for $500. Free money, free money. I feel like opera today. For you, for everybody. Okay, we have another winner. Woohoo! Guys, I want to see those emojis. I want to see emojis on the chat. The clap, 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 clap emoji. Ending with 44187. You are the lucky winner for the next $500. This, of course, will drop into your account in 24 hours. Okay, guys, this is free money for you to trade with. Sometimes, we're often apprehensive about certain trade setups that we see. You're like, what if this time it goes wrong? There's always that thing at the back of your head. What if this time it doesn't work out? All right, and why do you get scared? It's not the fear of the trade not working out. It's the fear of you losing money on the trade in case it doesn't work out. So now what this does for you is that you get to sort of put on that trade, okay, without risking your capital. This is free money for you to trade with. All right, so now for the next winner, the third and final winner for $500 for today's giveaway. Let's go. You gotta love those ones that come so close. All right, we have another winner for the next 500s, ending with 7147. You have won $500. Congratulations. Congratulations. Alrighty, so this wraps up our giveaway for today's live stream. Now, once again, guys, on the next live stream, we're going to be having another giveaway. To sign up for it, link in the description below to Bitunix, deposit 50, you qualify. As simple as that. All right, so congratulations to all of our winners today. Winners in the description as well as in the Discord chat. If you're not already on the Discord chat, what the hell are you waiting for? Join in. Join in. All right, but now let's talk about the real winner, which is all of you who are, well, currently holding XRP. XRP, XRP, XRP. You know, a couple of days ago, a couple of days ago, this has been forming, you need to understand, since 11th July. There is a quick lesson in here that I want to give everybody, all right? All right, this is something that I even speak to the Sproutlings about, in that you see these uptrends. Now, when I draw this pattern, what are you seeing on the chart? You're like, oh, rising wedge. It's a rising wedge, Krisha. It's a rising wedge. It's a bearish pattern. A rising wedge is a bearish pattern. It's gonna break down. It's gonna break down. People were looking to take profits, in fact. Yeah. It's gonna break down. It's a rising wedge. It's a bearish pattern. Blah, 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 blah. I don't want you guys to focus on the patterns. I want you guys to focus on the price action. Because if you really got to be objective here, I'm talking to you, if you got to be objective here, if you are someone looking at the rising wedge, hoping to score the next best bid on the chart, what it is that you're seeing on a rising wedge? What is it? Like, consider price action. What is it? It's a bloody uptrend, okay? You're seeing higher highs and higher lows on here. Like, don't fade the actual structure of it. And this is what happens in bull runs, by the way. Be very careful of how you interpret these rising channels and rising wedges in the middle of a bull run. Because oftentimes, because of that bullish momentum, these so-called bearish patterns break up. They break to the upside. Okay, it's a breakout move. The trend is a bullish trend, which just saw continuation. So don't go jumping the gun on your bias towards a certain price structure because, oh, it's a bearish pattern. It's a rising wedge. It's a rising channel. It's going to break down. Okay, don't do that. This right here was a bullish trend which broke up. All right. Now it appears, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is powerful. All right. When you see great freaking shadows to the downside, it dipped just now and it got picked up just now. That's how many buyers are stepping in as we speak right now on XRP. Ben Tai is in here. How's it going, Ben? Let's go. Because it's an XRP live stream, I'm gonna have to change it, Ben. I'm sorry. Let's go, XRP. What do you anticipate pathetic profit-taking price targets to be on the way to 23 bucks? I have my own ideas, but I'm curious to know yours. What are you talking about? What do you mean by anticipate pathetic profit-taking price targets? Sitting happy with the bids we took. I know, right? Guys, if you guys have been following Mango now for some time, if you guys have been following Mango for some time, you should be like well in position on many of the coins that you're trading right now. Bitcoin, you should have nailed it with us, which was around $17,000. Sean has been giving you guys the best bids on Bitcoin. XRP, I mean, guys, I've been covering XRP for the longest time now. I have been covering XRP. Let's go here. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull up this. The massive symmetrical triangle formation, okay, that we've been in. This is a multi-cycle symmetrical triangle formation that I brought to your attention back when before XRP even broke out. You know, and oftentimes you're going to find that it's the most easiest structures on the chart. You know, you look at it, you're seeing these crazy targets for it, and you're like, no, this is too insane. It's too unrealistic, okay? You're like, it's too unrealistic. There's no way. There's no way. And you're often trying to overcomplicate certain pictures on the chart because, hey, to make bank on some things, it just should be complicated. You feel like it should be complicated. The complication is warranted, right? But no, sometimes, believe it or not, just keeping the picture as easy as possible is where the edge is at, because you can bet that everyone else out there is complicating shit. Okay, apologies for my French. But it's about keeping it simple. Now, we spotted the symmetrical triangle before XRP made its first big 400% rally. Okay, that's why we've been riding it since around that 60, 64 cent region right here on the breakout of that very minor, now it looks minor, on the very minor falling channel, which sort of formed the bottom, right, getting into the apex. And that's where I brought up the entire target of $23 to your attention. It stemmed from the target of this massive symmetrical triangle formation. Okay, so now we know that XRP is, there's so much that I want to say here. XRP, I have to just sort of organize my thoughts because I know I'm excited and I don't want to sort of confuse you guys. But in the meanwhile, while I'm going over the chart, if you have any question on XRP with current price action, feel free to, well, get into the chat. Okay, now what I'm seeing here, guys, is a few things. Number one, we have broken out of a very bullish structure. Okay, make no mistake of that. This is something that I even brought to your attention in, well, the previous live stream, right? It's this right here, right? So now this was not only a falling wedge, this was a falling wedge marked at the end of what is a bull flag, okay? This is part of a bull flag, right? Now we officially have a breakout move off that entire pattern. Right? The first measured move would take XRP all the way up to where price is currently at. So this is one thing that we had already sort of forecasted, right? Price getting up to its previous all-time high, which was the measured move of this beautiful falling wedge. All right? But now you need to understand, it's not just the wedge that's broken out. We have a bull flag breakout as well. All right? The target to which, now this is the next target. The target to which, okay, place it on the break, will take XRP. Now, I'm seeing $12 on this move, but through my calculations, the next major midterm target I'm seeing is at $15 for the bull flag. Okay, I'm going to stick to my $15 target. So I'll be moving this a tad bit up. $15 is what I had measured with not just the bull flag, not just the bull flag measured move, but also with some of my other target systems. I'm coming up with that $15 target as the target that has major confluence on it. All right, so I'm looking at that. Now, yes, it's not 23, but now I feel like, you know, I don't know, tell me what you guys think. I feel like people are no longer looking at 23. Now what's happened is that because they're so, like, okay with XRP being this bullish, they're now looking at higher targets than just the 23. Before, 23 sounded absurd. It sounded absolutely absurd, right? Now it's like, 23, okay. What about 100? What about, it's sort of moving up, 50, 100. You can see that these targets are ever sort of, people are psychologically benching themselves to much higher targets. All right, now once again, I'd mentioned this in the previous live stream, I'm going to say it again. I want you to be very cognizant of you raising, basically raising your benchmarks for where the bull market would turn. Okay, because that's essentially what's going to prevent you from taking profits at the right time. Keep that in mind. Yes, Sila says, that's it. Yeah. You chose not to believe the right. Can you guys see the chat? Okay, yes, you can. Okay, brilliant. You chose not to believe the rising wedge, but you chose to believe the symmetrical triangle and falling wedge. Just a critical thought. Yes, a rising wedge, when I find it in the middle of a bull run, a raging bull run on what is an altcoin that is currently one of the, I'll call it the apex altcoins. Let's face it, guys. I think from all of the altcoins, we can all agree on one thing. XRP's, the way XRP moved throughout this entire consolidation was significantly more bullish than all of the other altcoins out there. It was one of the stronger ones still, even on its entire range. right? When I know that we're still within our bull run parameters, I know that XRP is one of the best performing altcoins, even on its range of consolidation. Okay, it didn't lose as much value as many of the other altcoins out there. Okay, and in addition to that, you got to really consider the pattern that we're seeing. The rising wedge, once again, don't just fall back onto, oh, a rising wedge is a bearish pattern, so it must break down. No, nothing must do anything. Okay, nothing, it doesn't owe you a breakdown, right? You got to always ask yourself that question. Okay, it's a bearish pattern, but why is it a bearish pattern? What makes it bearish? You really have to question yourself on what makes something bearish. Okay, you're going to realize that, okay, what makes a rising wedge? Let's actually go ahead and draw it out. I feel like I'm just talking without you guys seeing anything. Okay, what makes the rising wedge bearish? I know that a lot of people were waiting on a pullback. They were waiting on a pullback. There were some waiting on a pullback, and there were others calling XRP's bluff. This is what's been going on. And you know, I'm not gonna like shoot people down for this, but XRP's been one of the most bullish altcoins. It's made you wait, but it's been bloody bullish. It's been really, really good. It's been very good. That's one thing I have maintained throughout the entire consolidation. It's been good to us compared to many of the other altcoins. But getting back to this rising wedge, and this is not just for XRP. You're gonna see this on other altcoins. You gotta ask yourself the question: what makes it bearish? If I gotta ask you what makes a rising channel bearish, what are you gonna say to me? Oh, because that's what the book said? No, don't be silly. Be critical. What makes it bearish is the break. Okay, it's this break. It's the break of it that makes it bearish. Without the break, it's not bearish. In fact, without the break, it's freaking bullish. Okay, you're seeing a very, very strong uptrend here. Now combine that with the fact that you're seeing a strong uptrend in the middle of a bull market. What is that telling you? Right? If you really have to assess the probability of a break up versus a break down, how would you assess that probability? The chances, the probability of it breaking to the upside is greater than it breaking to the downside, especially if we have established that, hey, bullish momentum has picked up and we're also in the middle of a bull run. All right, and we're also seeing the index of the market, which is Bitcoin, also catching a bid and actually getting into all-time highs, making all-time highs. Right? So you got to consider the holistic picture. Don't just tunnel vision on what you want to see. Ask yourself the critical questions. Don't be like, oh, because the book said it, because XYZ said it, because he said it, because she said it, it must be so. No, nothing must be so. Be critical about the information that you take in and the information you act upon. Okay, now similarly on the macro scale, that's symmetrical triangle formation. A symmetrical triangle, guys, is a 50-50% chance. It's a 50% chance of it breaking up. There's a 50% chance of it breaking down. That's your symmetrical triangle for you. All right. Now, one thing about macro patterns that I have maintained on is that it's difficult to paint any pattern on any macro time frame. It's difficult. What you see, the structures that you see are technically very, very, very relevant. Okay. Now I looked at XRP on this juncture right here. Now I know that there's no painting here. Okay, you cannot paint a freaking symmetrical triangle that's been spanning since 2017 to 2024. There's no way. In fact, even if you look at the macro patterns on Bitcoin, you'll find that those macro patterns actually played out to the T. That's right, I'm even talking about targets. The targets played out, guys, on the macro. That's a lot of edge, but once again, it's too simple. It's too friggin' simple. Right? You feel like it should be complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated. Okay? Because it's difficult to paint this, I take this with utmost importance. I look at the structure and I give it the importance that it deserves. All right? Symmetrical triangle. What I saw there on this apex was, yeah, fine, prices reaching the apex of the triangle. What made me believe that this was going to break out? I was looking at XRP's trajectory even in terms of, well, the news around it. What was it? How did it all play out with the SEC? What was the chances that it still, stays to survive? I was also looking at you guys. What do I mean by looking at you guys? Well, I was looking at the amount of people who are still following XRP. Sean mentioned something yesterday. He said it like, we were talking about, it's hard not to talk about price action right now, right? Especially with what the markets are doing. But He's like, he looked at me, he's like, Krisha, don't bet against communities. Do not bet against communities. And that hit me, as it should you too. Do not bet against communities. If there's anything that XRP's had, and you guys are a good example of that, okay? If there's anything XRP has had, it has had a strong friggin' community. Okay, every time I published an XRP video, I got, like, you guys come out, like, in a bunch, while all the other communities were sort of, you know, dwindling down. Not XRP. Don't bet against communities. All right, so I was seeing, okay, how all the cases were sort of playing out with the SEC. I was looking at the strong community still backing XRP, still holding XRP. That gave me conviction in that the likely chance of this breaking was a break to the upside. Build a story for yourself. Build a story for yourself, guys. Okay, that's how you find edge. That's how you build conviction on the assets that you're holding. All right, so now as far as XRP is concerned here, yes, this is an official breakout. Yes, we're moving to the upside. However, does it continue here or do we get rejected here? Because if there's one thing that everyone's seeing is that, hey, Krisha, this was the previous all-time high. Okay, let's go ahead. Look at this. Previous all-time high. Do we break? Or do we get rejected? Because a rejection would entail a pullback. We might see a pullback on XRP. So what are the odds of that? When do we expect a move to the upside and when do we expect the pullback? All right, so I'm going to be giving you that criteria right now. I'm just going to quickly get on over to the chat to see what you guys are saying. Wow, I was winded by that. Okay. Gallon, what are you saying? He's like, if XRP gets to 23, I'm betting against the community. No, I would not do that. Don't ever bet against the community. That's one thing. Sean always comes out with these crazy lines of wisdom, and it's very thought-provoking. I want you guys to hear him out when he comes up with his golden nuggets, because that's essentially what you'll be pleasantly surprised as to when those words of wisdom come back to you on your execution, and it's going to help you tremendously. By the way, guys, if you did not catch Sean's video on Ethereum, have you guys been watching Ethereum? Jeez Louise. If you did not catch Sean's video on Ethereum yesterday, he dropped an insane target on ETH. Watch it. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. By the way, there's no music today. Do you guys like it without the music? Let me know. Okay, so as far as XRP is concerned, now, once again, guys, before I move on, I just want to let you know, winners to the giveaway will be announced in the description as well as in the Discord chat. So if you're not already in, go ahead and join in. To qualify for the next giveaway, guys, get into Bitunix. Oops, this is not it. Let me just go ahead, get the actual link. Where is my infographic? There it is. Woohoo! Okay, there it is. Get into Bitunix, deposit 50, and you qualify for the giveaway. But in addition to that, guys, Bitunix actually has its own giveaway too. You deposit 50, you deposit 2,000. That's it. Just a deposit. Don't even have to trade. Deposit 2,000, and they're going to give you $400 for free to trade with. This is free money. Everything is moving right now. Literally, get into the dashboard. Everything is green right now. Okay, there are a lot of great trade opportunities across the board. You get to actually put on trades without risking your capital when you are given free money. Right? I've been noticing the signups. There are quite a few of you guys signing up, but not enough. Like, why aren't you taking advantage of free money? These opportunities are not going to come in too often. So when they do come in, take advantage of it. Okay, this is money you can use to put on any trade that you want, and there's several right now across the board. Okay, I do not want you guys to fade free money opportunities in this phase of the market. So go ahead, take advantage of it. So now, if you deposit 2,000, you qualify for the giveaway, Mango's giveaway, anyways. But in addition to that, you get a guaranteed $400. dropped into your account. Okay, so do not fade the free money opportunity. Once again, you can get it only by using the link in the description below to Bitunix. So now as far as, once again, why am I not logged in here? As far as XRP getting rejected here is concerned, I first want to go ahead and check out the Mango dashboard. Let's go ahead. There it is. Holy shoot. Are you seeing Sean, are you seeing this list? Okay, this is filtered, this is ordered by volume. Yeah, trading volume. And for 99% of the time, Bitcoin tops the list in terms of trading volume. This is the first time in a very long time where Bitcoin has hit rank 3. ETH USDT, number 1, ETH BTC, number 2, Bitcoin only, number 3. How insane is that? How insane is that? But hey, XRP number 4. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna give you guys my thesis on the altcoins as well. Okay, so heads up on that. I'll wait for that because I have a thought, and maybe you guys can be you guys can play devil's advocate, of course, but I don't want to jump the gun. I just want to let you guys know that that's coming up next. Okay, XRP USDT. Longs across the board, 4-hour to the daily time frame, to the 2-day time frame. Okay, so long is a bullish trend. Good stuff. If you guys managed to catch, for those of you who've been following the dashboard, you had your alert set in as I do right here on XRP. You can see the bell is highlighted. Okay, if you guys want an alert on any of the time frames, all you got to do is get onto the time frame you're trading on, so whether it's 4-hour, 12-hour daily, and set in that alert. Honestly, it's one click. Okay, so if the trend changes, you are alerted via email just in case you are out. Okay, just in case you're at school, you're at work, wherever it is that you are. All right, now if you manage to catch any of these trend flips, you are up significantly on all of those trades. Minimum, you're up a good 18% on the 4-hour time frame. And XRP has actually been trending on the 4-hour time frame right now. But let's go back to, okay, trend is bullish, you're up on all your time frames. However, we are trying to determine if we're going to get a pullback on XRP. Now, one thing alluding to a pullback, okay, is the volatility. Volatility expansion. Okay, when volatility expands, and when I see these high red numbers, we might be seeing the bears getting into an exhaustion. They might, not the bears, sorry, the bulls. The bulls might be getting into this phase of exhaustion, a zone of exhaustion, where they have sort of, it's like running a marathon, right? Or rather just running a lap, right? You're running. At one point, you're going to get winded. It's like you've sort of run out of that energy. It's like a sprint, all right? So when you see volatility pick up the way XRP has picked up here, this was XRP's sprint. This was XRP's sprint from around $2.26 to where price is currently at. This was XRP's sprint of a good 40%. And when you see these quick sprints in price action, you're often going to see the trend get a tad bit tired. Okay, now the way I determine if the trend is getting tired is by looking at the volatility. All right, if I see volatility flashing red, I'm like, okay, this could be a potential pullback zone. Now, I don't often look at it in isolation. I look to see that, okay, I'm seeing red volatility, but question is it up against resistance? Because now that suddenly gives me more juice to my thesis of a pullback, right? So now, are we up against resistance? I mean, we've already determined that, yes, we are, right? We are currently up against that previous all-time high right here. Oops. Right here. Okay, so this could be a pullback zone. So bear that in mind. Now, it's a potential pullback. Once again, I have criteria of when this is no longer a pullback and we can expect continuation. Wait for it. But going back onto the dashboard, I want you guys to start using this to really help you filter out the trades worth looking at. Okay, once again, I've dropped a really good premium video under the premium video section right here, so please go ahead and check it out. Trades worth looking at, because right now there are hundreds, there are a lot of altcoins, guys. There's just too many. There's a lot. There are thousands out there. Right? How do you know which ones are even worth the trade? The worst thing you can do for yourself right now in a bull market is get into a coin that's opportunity cost. right? Get into a coin that's just not moving. You got in not because that, you got in for one reason and one reason only. You can see everything else rip, but you've noticed that this coin has not moved. You're like, oh, this coin has not moved. I can get a good price right here, right? So you get into that coin. But there's a chance that that coin never moves, or it doesn't move as well as the other coins that you were looking at. Okay, so don't do that. Try and figure out the coins actually worth trading. And oftentimes you're going to find that just buying strength in general is a good thing. Okay, strength beckons more strength. I know. It's difficult. All right, you're always looking at the gains that you missed out on, but you're still better off being in something that has more upside potential than an asset you think it hasn't started yet and it's only just about to start, but it never really starts. Don't get stuck in opportunity cost. Use the dashboard to help you filter out the ones worth looking at. And more importantly, if you're ever like in the situation of FOMO, you know, like XRP right here. If someone was left out of position in XRP, what do you think they're going through right now? What do you think they're going through right now? They're like, oh, should I buy here? Should I wait? It's FOMO. It's FOMO. Okay. So look at the volatility to help you understand when to expect the next pullback. But XRP right here, as far as XRP is concerned, would I be buying here personally? No. It's for me currently, number one, we're up against resistance. Number two, well, the dashboard's telling us that this is a pullback opportunity on the chart. Number three, I want you guys to notice where we are relative to the dynamic indicator, right? Every bid opportunity so far on the dynamic, ever since it started trending, has been the bid. It's been keeping you safe, all right? And one additional thing now, Sean managed to add the position manager not too long ago, essentially saying that, hey, you know, sometimes you're not going to get the optimal bid on the dynamic indicator itself, and prices do bounce. But how do you know if you should still be buying that bounce? Well, if the bounce is within that position manager range, you see the start bidding and end bidding, that's your position manager range. If it's still within that zone, buy. Okay, you're safe to buy. However, if it has broken out, wait on a better bid. Okay, that's how you read it. Because ultimately, you always want to make sure you're catching trades that are good trades, yes. But what's a good trade? What's a good trade? A trade that's easy to manage. Okay, that's a good trade. Right now, we're well out of equilibrium, up against resistance. Yes, this has broken out, but once again, you're looking to trade, you want a good bid. As things stand here, okay, now this is where there's a double play, not a double play per se, but depending on what price does on the next weekly close, will I look for continuation or a pullback? Okay, in fact, I'm saying weekly close because that is the time frame I've extrapolated much of my information from. But you can look at the daily closes as well as the weekly closes. Okay, I even have a number here. All right, so as far as the continuation versus rejection thing is concerned, okay, this is the level I'm looking at, $3.22. Take note of it. Okay, I'm actually just going to write it down here. 322. Where is it? I'm just going to put that in the middle. Bottom right center. Okay. Okay, it went all the way in the center. Okay, anyways. 322. Okay, take note of it. $3.22 is the level that I'm looking at. You see what I'm talking about? 322, please take note of the number. Okay, once you guys have taken note of that, I'm going to tell you what it is that's going to tell me that XRP sees continuation. And I feel like right now, the way the markets are positioned is like, people are scared of continuation. I feel like people are not positioned. If the weekly, today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, on Monday, if Monday opens over 322, take note of the number, please. If Monday opens over 322, I'm saying we're moving up further. This sees continuation as opposed to rejection. Okay. Hey, Krisha, what are the chances that you are wrong? Yes, there is a chance, of course, that I could be wrong. This is based on a system that I'm following right now. If this changes, I will come out on Monday alone and tell you that, okay, something has changed. But right now I'm looking at 322 as that major sort of pivot point for myself, in that if prices close on the weekly time frame over 322, there's a good chance that we see continuation from here. And the way I'm looking at this right now is that I feel like right now direction of most pain is I have to be very critical of what I say here. I have to be very, very critical of what I say here. Direction of most pain is going to be to the upside. That said, people I feel are at this point where they've been burned with the altcoins. I'm fleshing out my thought as we go here. Okay, I'm doing this live on stream so that you guys know where my mind is at. Here's what I'm observing, especially through the YouTube comments. I saw a couple of YouTube comments on Sean's video as well as my video that got me to take a step back. And believe it or not, just looking at sentiment can give you a lot of information. So I was looking at the comments and I noticed that people are still really, really disgruntled, and they're noticing that how the altcoins, allocating into the altcoins, have been a complete waste. Tell me if you guys are in tune with that. Do you feel like allocating over the past years now, allocating to the altcoins was a complete waste and that you were better off allocating into Bitcoin? Because that's the number one sort of sentiment I'm noticing on the YouTube comments, which is telling me that a lot of people, they wish that they had just allocated into Bitcoin. And now they're looking at these altcoin pumps as a way to sort of divest out of the altcoins to only go back into Bitcoin. They're like, finally, break even. I'm going to take this. I'm going to get back into Bitcoin. And they're calling the altcoins bluff. Arturo says, I've been losing money on altcoins. And yeah, it's not just you. It's not just you. A lot of people have been in the same boat. Right, and they're sort of expressing their frustration. Now, I wanted to be very careful of what I say on XRP, because while this may be true for most of the altcoins out there, I really hope it's not the case for XRP, because I'll be honest with you guys, XRP has actually been really, really good. So I'm now saying, though, people have sort of still gotten really disgruntled with this entire consolidation here. It took too long, in their opinion. Okay, so people are looking to sort of divest even out of their XRP, wondering, hey, is it a good time for me to be taking profits since I'm at break even? Believe it or not, guys, a lot of people ended up buying the top. Yeah. So they're looking at this as, hey, is this a good time for me to sort of divest and get into Bitcoin? And which is why for those people, and if we have more of those people in here, okay, there's still a lot of frustration on altcoins. I know they're all recovering right now, but that frustration is there. Okay, it's there. And if they act on it, the direction of most pain is going to be to the upside. On not just XRP, all of the altcoins. The one time they call the altcoin bluff is the time the altcoins rip. So right now, okay, for me, I'm like I said, I'm keeping this very system oriented. I'm keeping this very as objective as possible. We are up against resistance. Dashboard currently flashing all red on volatility. We could see a pullback here. However, if we start closing the weekly candles over $3.22, I'm saying that the next likely move is going to be continuation on XRP. Right? The immediate target that I'm seeing is, are you ready, guys? Are you guys ready for the target? This is the immediate target. Okay, immediate target. I'm talking about the next couple of weeks. Maybe in the next 1 week if we close over 322. The next target for XRP is right here. Okay, $4. I'm looking at top of the range at $4. And that is going to be all-time high. I know you guys are probably not even, you're like, I'm not impressed, Krisha, give me more than 4. I mean, come on. I'm going to give it one step at a time, okay? I cannot just give you targets thin air. It's got to be data driven. Okay, my next data driven target. Why didn't that appear? What the hell? Center, left. Okay, there. $4 on the target, top of the range. Mr. Moss says $4 is the first good target. I think so too, because from where price is at right now to 4, that's a good 23%, 24% actually almost on the next leg up. It's like an entire range that I have, but top range, upper range is $4. This comes in from around $3.57 going all the way up to $4. I'm saying $4 upper bound $4 in the next, like I said, if we close over 322 in the next 3 days, $4 can even happen in a week. We all know how XRP moves. When XRP begins to move, it's not going to give you a chance. It just moves. Isn't there supposed to be some sort of news drop on SEC and the cases and XRP, like a final sort of closure? There are thousands more altcoins. Hey, Benjamin is in. How's it going, Benjamin? There are thousands more altcoins this cycle than the last one. We will not see a broad-based alt season. There is just enough money to go around with massive pumps for altcoins. There's a part of that I completely agree with. I think you're right. There are a lot of altcoins out there right now, but I feel like there are going to be some sectors that win out dramatically. And you guys got to be very cognizant of how you sort of you guys got to be very aware and very calculating of how you allocate towards your portfolio. You can't just go shooting darts anymore. I agree with that. Don't go shooting darts. Understand the chart. Okay, the chart is going to matter. Okay, in a bull market, guys, nobody cares about, I know this is going to sound a bit too much for some of you who like the FA. I like the FA too, to an extent. However, in a bull market, FA takes backseat. It's all the TA. Okay, the FA could be absolute nonsense. It could be bearish for all I care. The FA could be bearish, but because we're in a freaking raging bull market, price prevails, and it will take it up. It will take it up. So don't know how to read the chart. Don't go relying on other people's trade setups, because they're going to tell you when the trade triggers. They're not going to tell you when to cut your losses. They're not going to tell you when the trade ends. That's for you to determine. So if you've already taken your entire trade setup on someone else's thesis and you're relying on them to tell you when to get out, that might not come. Okay, so make sure you guys know how to read the chart, how to come up with your own trade setups. All right? And figure out, like, get some good, like we use the dynamic indicator. You don't have to use the dynamic. You can use something else. But get some really good objective indicators in your arsenal for this phase of the market. Like, look, dude, XRP, that's all we played it off of. XRP, we've only played it off of the weekly dynamic, and it scored us big. It scored us huge. Not just on XRP, on even coins like Bitcoin, on SUI, you name it, we've been using this. Sean tells me that, Krisha, you might be using it as a crutch, and I do, but it's good. It keeps me objective. It helps me do other things in my life while, not getting too spooked out with the charts, because I have an objective indicator to keep me objective. Okay, I know when it's a good time to be bidding and when it's not a good time to be bidding. All right, so start using your objective indicators. I know it's a Mr. Moss says it's a comfy crutch. It is. It's a really, really comfy crutch, right? And it's good. It's been freaking solid in getting us into positions at the right time, and also helping us understand when is it time to, like, take a step back. Let it play out, take a step back. Now, you guys can use whatever it is that you want. Find an objective indicator. If you want the dynamic, you'll find it in the description below. If one of you guys can link it, that would be awesome. themangoway.com/dynamic is where you're going to find it. But right now, guys, this is the current story unfolding on XRP. We officially have a breakout of that beautiful, beautiful falling wedge marked out by the end of that amazing bull flag. Bull flag target, guys, takes it up to $15. $15 on the bull flag target. The current most immediate target that I'm looking at, most immediate, all right, is a range between $3.53 going all the way up to $4. This is the range. This is the red box right here. All right. This happens as soon as we start seeing strength over 322. If you guys want to write all of these notes down, go ahead and write it down. Okay, the next, okay, I'm almost, this is like an XRP only live stream today, which is fine. XRP BTC, guys. Not a lot of charts are doing this. This is something else that I brought up in the previous daily video. Don't fade this. Bitcoin right now is still apex asset, right? It's been sort of grabbing all the value across the crypto sphere. So when altcoins are doing better than Bitcoin, that's a signal for you. Okay, so don't fade those signals. XRP has been doing very well against Bitcoin since November, since last year, since when it actually ripped a good 400%. Now, however, it's still looking good. Okay, you can see that we have an uptick right here. An uptick makes it sound very small. This is not a small move. But in addition to that, we're heading into a bit of resistance. Now, this is where I want you guys to be very, very vigilant. Okay, especially if you're someone saying that, oh, I'm going to switch my XRP for Bitcoin. You can do that. Okay, I don't want to I'm sorry, that tone was really bad. I shouldn't use that tone. You can do that. Okay, you can totally switch your altcoins, whether it's XRP or something else, for Bitcoin. Okay, by all means. But make sure you know what chart you're looking at to make that decision. Make sure you're looking at the right information. If you're looking to make that decision, this is the chart you guys ought to be looking at. Okay, so if XRP, now what does this mean? If XRP starts breaking over, okay, say you've already done the switch. You've switched your XRP to Bitcoin. Okay, you've done the switch. If XRP BTC, that's the ticker that we're looking at, XRP BTC starts breaking up over that region of resistance. I'm looking at this on the monthly time frame. Comes in around 3096. If it starts doing that, XRP is going to outperform Bitcoin. XRP is structured to outperform Bitcoin. All right. So when you guys are doing certain switches, understand what chart it is that you need to be looking at. Okay, if you're going from one altcoin to another altcoin, compare the altcoins. Try and figure out if it's a good move, right? There, just to show you quickly, give me a coin, guys. Let's do XRP XLM. Did you guys hear? Sean told me about the XLM PayPal news. Did you guys hear about it? Anyways, sorry. Coming back to this, if you guys ever want to compare the two, right? So you go XRP USD / XLM USD, you're able to compare the two charts side by side. So what is this telling us right here? XRP fell relative to XLM. Okay, XRP was weak in this range relative to XLM. All right. Now, this is not the neatest chart. This is not the neatest comparison. You'll often find that XRP and XLM actually run together. But oftentimes, you're going to find, like, really good, like, say, ETHUSD and SOL, right? If you compare ETH and SOL, this is how you do it. So ETHUSD / SOL USD, and you're going to get a nice chart, right? And you can see that, okay, there's a proper trend here. Now, you're going to see ETH. So Solana has been outperforming Ethereum for the longest time, but now ETH is picking up a bit relative to Solana. ETH is looking stronger relative to Solana. All right, so start understanding what chart you guys ought to be looking at if you are looking to switch your altcoins up. Oh, is my volume too low? Manny Quiza says, Sean, how do I find your channel? You gotta poke him, Manny. You gotta poke him to do more. But yeah, this is today's juice on XRP. I wanted to keep this particularly on XRP because it's been friggin' amazing. This has been an amazing rip, volatility break, everything break, struck this bull flag break, falling wedge break. We're now getting into those new all-time highs. We're getting into that phase of the market. So yeah, eyes on the prize. And once again, guys, don't forget, You got free money at the corner of the room to put on all of these trades with. Do not fade it. This won't last too long. I believe the deadline for this campaign is 31st July. Okay, so end of the month, you deposit 2,000. They're giving you 400 for free to trade with. All right, so take advantage of this for as long as it lasts. And every live stream, we're gonna be having giveaways. So show up. So sign up. Okay, if you sign up, you qualify for the giveaway. That way I know that, hey, to put you on the list, to put you on the spin the wheel. We did have 3 lucky winners today who won $500 each. Think about it. They're literally giving you $400 for free, okay? And, well, these winners won $500. Last time we had one winner who won $1,000. So start tuning into the live streams, start signing up, and start grabbing the free money at the corner of the room. Cool beans. Alrighty, guys, I am exhausted for today. This is your juice on XRP. If you guys liked all of this, make sure to hit the likes. If you're looking for a fun community to, well, join, get into the Discord chat. themangoway.com/Discord is where you're going to find us. And I will now see you all in the chat. I will see you in the daily videos. I will see you on the next live stream. So if you guys have any altcoin requests, make sure to get into the comments section and mention it. Okay, I've been keeping an eye out on the most popular ones, and that's how I sort of decide to do my daily videos. That's how I pick which altcoin I'm going to do. All right, so I'll be keeping a very keen eye out on the comments because well, the alts have been looking freaking fantastic. Okay, there's a lot of opportunity right there, so I do not want you guys to fade it. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your weekend, and I will now see you in the next video. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao.